The next concept we're going to go over in Visual Basic is something to help us simplify our programs. We're going to go over what are called functions. Functions are predetermined code that can perform a certain task. For example, if we wanted to add a couple quick numbers together, most of the time, if we had dim A as or I'll make it a little better. We'll do dim number 1 as an integer, dim num2 as an integer, and dim answer as integer. More often than not, we would just simply do answer equals num1 plus num2. It's pretty simple. But let's say you had a ton of numbers in a ton of different locations throughout the whole program that you wanted to do this to. We could easily change that so that we're passing the information down to a function that is designated just to add the couple numbers together. And that's what I'm about to demonstrate to you. Here I have a program that has 8 different text boxes, num1, or 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B. See the name right here? And 4B, 4A. Each one has its own answer label. And we're going to go ahead and code it. I've already taken care of our variable declarations. Notice there's only one answer variable, as you'll see. And then we also have our try parsing of the information. So again, it's integer.tryparse, where it's coming from, and what variable it is stored to. Now, once you have this all set up, the next objective is to do this. Go outside of any subfunction you currently have made, but be inside end class. So anywhere between your last end sub and your end class. And we're going to create our private function. So why is it private? Because these are private. So we're going to make our functions private as well so that they can communicate. Private, we get a whole bunch of different options we can make. We can make classes, async, constants. We're going to make it real easy for ourselves and make it private function. And since we're going to add the numbers up, we're just going to call it add numbers. We still use camel casing in naming our functions. The only time we capitalize is when we're naming classes. Now, for each one of these, we are adding up 2 numbers. So what we need to do is we need to have on the functions end 2 different receivers to receive the 2 different numbers. So instead of dim, we're going to use by val, which stands for by value, meaning it's going to keep the same value as what is being passed down to it. So by value, we're going to call it down here, instead of number, I'll call it first number as integer, because everything's being received as an integer here, comma, by value, second number as integer. Why are we not using the specific numbers from up here? Is because at one point all the A's are going to get passed the first number and all the B's are going to get passed the second number, because that's how we're setting it up. Now, you notice there's a green line under end function. It says function add numbers doesn't return a value on all code paths. And all reference exception could occur. So we need to return something. We're going to return the answer. So we just type return answer. And it fixes it. So then what we have to do is just figure out, well, what's the answer? in this function, it's going to be first number and the second number added together. So remember, answers come first. Answer equals first number plus second number. And I'll bring that back up. So this function is now completely set up to add two numbers together. Awesome. Now we just have to, now that we have our receivers, we just have to pass the information. So I'm going to skip a step by not declaring variables. We're just going to go straight into putting the answer into each of the answer labels. So the first one is called one answer label. So we're going to call it one answer label dot text equals, and instead of doing 1a plus 1b, I'm going to go and call the add numbers function. So I'm giving it a call. I have two receivers down here, first number and second number. So I need to have two receivers or two passers up here, be 1a and 1b, because that's what I'm appropriately passing down. And I will show you this here in action real quick. So it's taking the number from 1a, putting it down here to first, 1b, putting it down to second. So 4 and 5 equals 9. The return answer returns the value up here and places it in the text box. So I can repeat for the other ones, two answer label.text equals add numbers 2a and 2b. Three answer label.text equals add numbers, because we're still calling to that same function, 3a and 3b, and four answer label.text equals add numbers 4a and 4b. So in running the code then, I enter in a variety of numbers, and what it's going to do is it's going to successfully add up all the numbers when I click on the button, because each time it passed down the different values to first number and second number, calling upon the add number function. And that right there, I can get this in the screenshot here a little bit, is how this works. So we're going to practice for the next week or so passing different parts of the program down into functions. So when we do all our projects and we have a lot of code that repeats, instead of copying and pasting it, we're just going to now call to functions.